Tucked into the network of streets and minor drainage lines in the northern Brisbane suburbs is the Boden Wetland. Keith dedicated 47 years of his life to managing the Wavell Heights Neighbourhood Society, retiring in 1999. Here in 1946 we can see the open areas of the future Wavell Heights and the barracks still evident on the future Shore sports fields. This little retention pond dam was put in around 1998 and can be seen in this 2001 Google Earth snip. The new pathway runs down the western side to the shelter. In the midst of the millennium drought in 2007, more pathways have now gone in and trees are beginning to mature. By 2023, even the little creek from Colac Street has some tree cover, albeit exotics like mulberries. So, how does this little bit of nature engineering fit into the suburbs of today? It harvests from a catchment of some 165 hectares, sliced into three by Rhodey and Edinburgh Castle roads. We'll take a walk down this tiny catchment to the feature dam that we're looking at. After a pretty steep climb up from Rhodey Road, we get to Berney Brae Park, which is pretty much at Hamilton Road at Chermside. You can see the big flats in the background over there. That little creek starts at the bottom of Berney Brae Park, or close to. So we're right at the top of the range here with Prince Charles Hospital in the background. The border ranges, not the border ranges, the dividing ranges behind those cranes over there. View to the city on the top of the hill here. It drops off back towards our own Catchment Brook catchment. It's a very neat little community garden in the corner of Berney Brae Park. Water tank and planting beds, information, compost. Good. In the trees adjacent to the garden, a pale-faced rosella does some tip pruning. Why do parrots do that? Yarralla Street seems to be the foot of the drainage line as we drop down from Berney Brae and head back down towards Catchment Brook. Busy changes happening around the city. Quite a noticeable little valley here on Pilbara Street. Up there. As the waterway then drops back down Bundle Street towards Rhodey Road. Bristol Park on the other side. Still got ants' nest in the Grevillea robusta, 20 metres from Rhodey Road. There we go, looking down the hill again. Waterway emerges from the housing at Bristol Park, adjacent Rhodey Road, amongst the signs of Christmas and the poincianas, and underneath them fig birds and rainbow lorikeets are some of the denizens of Bristol Park, which has some large fine fig trees for the benefit of all. Still looking vaguely waterwayish amongst some old remnant paper barks. The top of Mag Street Park, the waterway starts to disappear into the houses and suburbs, so must make for a little interesting flood event in those back gardens from there on up. Nice open waterway. A few little remnant stands of indigenous trees there. Here we are about to cross Finks Road, walking up behind Wavell State High on the left there. Some nice planting along a parkland waterway. The locals have created a relaxing sit-out space in the long, narrow Finks Park. Not sure what the surveyors were thinking when they laid out this odd little intrusion into the waterway. By the time we get to the lower end of the park, approaching Edinburgh Castle Road, much of the surface flow has been directed underground. Having crossed Edinburgh Castle Road, this is where the flow emerges again, and then runs in a concreted channel all the way south to the little dam we're looking at. Pacific black duck and a magpie lark prove that wildlife will take advantage of any habitat, however bleak it might look. A footbridge crosses the waterway just at the head of the dam. Looking up the channel, when that squid there gets choked in summer rains, another body of water forms, just waiting to be used. Large school of tilapia in the drainage channel going down to Creasy Street Creek Dam. A little alarming. Just hordes of them. Little puddle at the head of the dam here. With fresh water coming in, note the multitude of tiny fish fry and probably exotics amongst the adult tilapia. As water flow decreases and there's less oxygen, the fish begin to get more sluggish. These tough and prolific African fish are now a major threat to local species. As the main dam stagnates, eels join the tilapia at the top end, also hoping for a little more oxygen. Cool calls in the background indicate the rains are on the way, but will they be in time to save these desperate individuals? Finally, there is little movement at all. They all end up virtually torpid, or worse. Some individuals do succumb to the stinking anaerobic water. The council sign is a timely reminder of the actual purpose of the dam. In additional efforts to clean up the flow, the council installed a large bladder at the head of the dam in 2022 with an outlet back into the wetland and rubbish barriers in the water. Some debris was collected manually and a huge amount of mud taken away by truck. The rocky, creek-like top end of the pond gradually expands to the more open water at the southern end. Although shallow and often a bit acidic and muddy, this little body of water supports an impressive variety of wildlife, even in casual passing. Here cormorants and an egret work together to fish. One of the most common and visible residents is the dusky moorhen, Gallinula tenebrosa. During the breeding season, the dusky moorhen forms breeding groups of 2 to 7 birds, with all members defending territory, building nests, and looking after the young. The shallow platform nests are made amongst reeds or on floating platforms in open water. 2 or more females will lay their eggs in the same nest, and all members of the group help incubate the eggs and feed the young. Most years we can be pretty confident of seeing a new brood of chicks around the dam. Their calls are one of the signature sounds of this little wetland. They certainly appear to be diligent and caring mothers. Growing youngsters stepping out on those enormous feet of theirs. The family now almost fully fledged, venturing away from the water and out onto the nearby grass and lawns. The dusky moorhen is a very widely spread bird, all the way from Indonesia right across to southwestern Australia. Here the moorhen family disturb a water dragon, observed by the white ibis. In their own habitat, the oft maligned ibis is a handsome bird. In urban environments, the usually shy water dragon becomes used to humans. They're very good climbers and can remain submerged for extended periods of up to an hour. Although taking advantage of urban areas, ibis are actually decreasing in their natural range. They are welcomed by farmers during locust plagues. A royal spoonbill, taking advantage of water depth that is just right for him. See if you can hear the little tusked frog plunking behind the cacophony of cicadas. This demanding youngster is evidence that breeding is happening, at least within our catchment. Royal spoonbills have an extremely sensitive beak for detecting underwater prey animals. Within the body of the dam are two small islands. These are important refuges for resting, nesting, and safety from predators, especially cats. While the spoonbill probes the mud, the little black cormorants actively pursue fish, though how they can see them in that muddy water, who knows? This species flocks to fish cooperatively, and they have special nictitating membranes that cover and protect their eyes whilst they're underwater. As two Pacific black duck patrol the shallows in a dry, early summer, tilapia and eels hang out in the warm, shallow water, like sunbathers on the beach. Why they would remain so evident points perhaps to a lack of compatible predators. Council will soon have to come and do a clear-out of the sediment. The dam works too well to be just left alone. There are other visitors, as there would be to any body of water. This kookaburra keeps a close eye out for prey down below. Here we have a female blue skimmer dragonfly and a male wandering percher. Buoyant water striders move swiftly across the water to prey on mosquito larvae and other tiny insects. The handsome little goose-like Australian wood duck form long-standing monogamous pairs and nest in trees. They certainly are reliable breeders. As are the Pacific black duck, here making patterns in the muddy shallows. This is a widespread and versatile duck, frequenting all types of water. The male helps little in the breeding process. Look at that blue on her beak and wing. They are mainly vegetarian, supplemented with small crustaceans and aquatic insects. Maybe this is what pizza looks like to ducks. Here a group preens with a purple swamp hen, while in the background a magpie lark is seeking nesting material. The purple swamp hen is one of the larger resident water birds. Here we have a fluffy black youngster, Note that signature white rump flash from Mum. And for the youngster, just check out the size of those feet. Swamp hens are strong flyers, and they'll often venture quite some distance from the dam. This young bird is still quite a lot more reticent than its parents, but happy to join them for a feast alongside the bike path. Note how the birds use their feet to grip their meal and pull at it. This is a little egret chasing prey through the shallows. These guys often work in conjunction with the cormorants. And here an intermediate egret casing out the lily pad bed. There's a great chorus of other birds in the background here. In the breeding season, this little egret, the yellow facial skin goes green and they grow breast and tail plumes, which are obviously not evident here. At the bottom southern end of the dam, a modest spillway releases the overflow to go under the bridge on the bike path and join into the larger drainage channel coming down from Colac Street, which then goes on to join Kedron Brook at the top end of Kalinga Park. A brush turkey and some walkers enjoy the fine grove of figs at the southern end of the dam. And so, from the frosty days of winter, it doesn't take much rain to flood these suburban waterways. Having overflowed the dam, this is the flooded Colac Street drainage line on a wet Monday morning, well over its fairly small banks, heading past Shaw Park and off down past Shaw Sports towards the road there. This brief overview should convince you of the significant benefit these small patches of habitat can have in the city. Engineering done well can be a blessing for all of us. Do get out and enjoy nature along your local creek.